Hello everyone, this is Johannes.
And this is Cinema.
And you are watching Board Gaming Ramblings.
Welcome back to Keep or Cull, where we play all of our games and decide if you want to keep them or cull them.
Yes, and this is a kind of new thing that we wanted to try out because we talked about this the last time we did all these mini reviews because we love keeping and culling things.
Yes.
And it seems like we love it and it seems like people love it, so we thought why not keep or cull more stuff? Because a rating is one thing, but it's also for many people. I think the reason many people like keep or cull is to know, like, is it a game that we decided to actually keep in the collection?
Yeah, because we rate a lot of things like good ratings, for example, 7s or 7.5s, and sometimes 8 too, but we don't
also
keep
rate
them.
No, that's true.
In the collection, yeah.
I think most 8s probably I keep, but it's not like a rule. It's not like, oh, a 7.5, I have to keep that, really depending on where it fits in the collection.
Yeah, and I can keep like a 6.5 also if it targets like a hole in a collection, like that is, it has a purpose, you know.
That is true. So this is going to be something I want to call reviews with a paddle. I like that. Yeah. So it's kind of like a reviews with a paddle, and this is going to be a Spiel special. You're going to get 2 of them this week and probably a couple more maybe, depending on how many of the games we get to review, because we cannot full review all of the now over 100 new 2023 games that we have gotten since the beginning of October, because that's not possible.
No, we are very lucky.
Yes.
It's so fun to get all these games.
Yes.
But there's too many games.
Yes, so we're going to talk about some of them now. And as you know, for Keep or Go, this is not... Many times when people see these like shorter reviews, they think, oh, it's because the games are bad. They're not. No. There's some fantastic games on this pile.
Spoiler alert.
Which you will see now. And
but
this
which
is enough.
Ones? Yeah.
Oh, you will know when you look at the games that are in the video. And we're starting now because all of this until now has just been us talking about things. So let's talk about board games. Let's start on your side. You have a game called Rami. This is a... Do you want to talk about it or should I talk about it?
This is like a board game take on the card game Rummy?
It's actually a card game take on the card game Rummy.
Yeah, so it is cards just in this board game. But it's like a twist on that.
Yeah, I'm almost trying not to start a discussion of what is a board game. That is another thing, but yeah, you know what I mean. And yeah, it's basically that. It's kind of like a classic card game. Let's do the paddle thing.
Yeah, let's do it.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Boom! That's been a while.
Yes.
It feels like so long since we did this. We're finally back with some keeping or culling.
Boom.
Yes,
and
double cull.
The classical double cull. I played the real board game version of Rummy, which is Rummy Cube, I think it's called. It's that in Norwegian at least.
Yes.
And I enjoy the I don't know if it's a genre, but I like the concept, and I enjoyed my time with it. I thought it had an interesting take on it, which is that you are collecting cards and you want to fill this contract, for example, with flushes and identical cards and so on, and you want to have the right suit to also get some bonus points, but I didn't enjoy it enough to choose to play it and have it in a collection.
No, I enjoyed it, but I felt like it had a bit too much layers of luck. We played it with my parents, and my mother really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So we might ask if she just wants it.
Yeah.
We're probably going to say no, because they don't sit down and play these games when we're not there, and they have like a card game that they really love that is kind of like this that we play at the cabin. So we're probably going to play that. But it's a fun one, but not one I want to keep. For me, if I were to rate it, I would going to rate in this one just because of fun. And Sunwa's not going to rate because he doesn't think that's not that much fun. I would give it like a 5.5.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, next up we have a game called 9 Tiles Extreme. This is from Oink Games, and it's an extreme game. Of 9 tiles. It is basically a speed game where you have 9 tiles in front of you. I don't know where extreme comes in, but there's 9 tiles in the game. And you are trying to, you flip a card and you either have to sort the tiles into the right colors or the right symbols, and you have to flip them because they're not the same on each side, and you're trying to do it as fast as possible. And that's basically the game.
Yeah.
So let's do the paddle.
Okay, cool.
1, 2, 3, boom!
What? Yeah.
What's going on? It's a speed game.
It's so small. It's very easy to keep.
It goes up there with the other Oink games.
Well, I think this is a fun speed game.
It was.
I really enjoyed it, and it really turns your brain around, because so many times I was just like, oh, I've arranged the symbols now, and I look again, I was like, no, I was supposed to do the colors.
Yeah, and
I've done it all wrong.
One time actually almost 2 times, I looked at the back of the card that tells you if it's supposed to be color. I was like, why are there only 6 colors? It's supposed to be 9. And then somebody finished like, Oh, that's just the
Yes.
thing that tells you. But it's not a great Oink game, like a very, very small box, very tiny game. But I really enjoyed this one. I say the quickest, kind of very easy to teach and very fast to play as kind of a extreme game.
Yeah, it is a little frustrating because you're nearing the end. You've got almost everything right, and then you flip the last thing and over. That's not the color that I need for, and then you have to rearrange your whole puzzle to get the right. But playing it with you is always frustrating because you're so fast.
I'm gonna rate 9 Tiles Extreme a 6.5, I think.
Cool.
Maybe a 7, but it's a fun one, so 6.57.
But it's a fun one, so I'm docking it half a point. 1902 Melier. Is that the way to say it?
I think so.
Yes.
I was drawn by this mostly because of the theme. The 19XX almost series from Looping Games has its ups and downs. Some we really liked, some we haven't enjoyed that much. But the theme for this is like close to my heart. I love film, and this is one that I like the film, and I love the theme. I said it now 2 times.
Yes.
It is kind of a worker placement game, and you are trying to shoot a film, not with a gun, but with a camera, and you're trying to place the actors in the right costumes, in the right spaces, but it's only one set, so it's kind of like a not thematic game, because you are 3 directors moving people around them, and like I was thinking about how this would be in a real life set.
Makes no sense.
No, but let's do the thing.
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, boom.
I like the idea of this game. As you said, I love the theme as well, and I
Double Cull, by the way, for
double
people
Cull,
listening
yes. I think it's a cool way to worker placement game with like only 2 workers, and when you've done like put both of them out, you have to use your action to retrieve them.
Yes.
And that's all you do. So you want to. You can bump each other out.
Yes.
So if you go somewhere that I'm already, I get my worker back, so I don't have to use an action retrieving that, which I think that is fun. And I'll also, as you said, your multiple directors want to have multiple costumes on multiple
Sets.
and at the same time, so it doesn't really make sense. But overall, is it fun? I was just like, it was decent, but it didn't give me that, oh, let's go again, this is so fun feeling that I want from this kind of game.
I enjoyed many of the concepts. I really enjoyed the mechanisms of it. But I agree with like everything worked. Everything I enjoyed, even though it's not thematic, which I don't really care about. I enjoyed the shared set of trying to do the best way possible, but also having to do it before somebody changed up too much. I enjoyed many of the aspects, but all in all, it didn't excite me at the end.
Agree.
As a rating, I think I would gonna give it like a 6. It's a fine game, but nothing that we need to keep.
Yeah.
Therefore, the double Cull.
You could basically just like dock all your ratings with 0.5 and you would get my ratings.
Yeah. Next up, we have Lotta. Pythagoras really... We have heard about them before, or I have, and probably you haven't.
Yeah, in maths.
Yes.
I've heard a lot about Pythagoras.
And we recently reviewed Keltay. If you haven't seen that, we did a playthrough, very short game. Go check it out. A great game. And they had this as well. They had 3 games. We have gotten to play 2 of them so far. And this is a lot. I later heard about a game called Cafe. I heard about it before, but it's the same designers than at this, and that was also very well received. It is a game about making fish, sardines in canned fish.
Yes.
I think Lotta is kind of translated to tin, if I'm not mistaken. And it's kind of like a historical game, not like thematically, or thematically it's a historical game, but it doesn't feel like an historical game. And you have
what are you doing in the game?
Woman having some very large pile of something. I don't know what.
But what are you doing in this game?
And what are you doing?
Yeah.
You're trying to make tins of fish. I already said that. You are bidding on player order. You are getting new cards into your kind of machine. You have like an order where you can produce things. You try to produce the best things possible to sell them to the best cards to score the most coins, and the coins that you use to buy cards that score points, because that's the only thing that scores points. And yeah, is it good? We will tell you now. Let's do the paddle thing. 1, 2, 3, boom!
I think Glada is really good. It's a double
great.
keep. And I think the auction mechanism in this game is really clever because you have a blind auction.
Yep.
And you are bidding with your action points in this game.
Yes.
So the more you, the more you bid, the more you bid,
the less you have left.
then the less actions you get to have, and that makes you produce less, and also you have more restrictions when selling.
Yes.
But the earlier in player order you are, then you get first picks on both like new production card, but also which contracts you want to fulfill.
Yeah.
Super simple, but very brainy, and I really love it. And it doesn't take that much time as well. I thought
45 minutes to an hour.
I thought it was really nice.
This game is great. Like this is one that if you enjoy the kind of games that we usually enjoy, like the mathier, and this has interaction in a great way with the bidding and people taking what you want, trying to, okay, I might not be first, but I'm gonna at least be second. It just has so many great things packed into a small box. This is one you should check out.
Yes.
And basically, after playing Keltay and playing this, I ordered the other 2 games that they did like 2 years ago, I think, which was Cafe and Pessoa, which is a Cafe is by the same people who did this, and Pessoa is by Orlando Sa, who did Keltay.
Cool.
So it's kind of like I have high hopes for this, and I also know I have kind of higher expectations, even though I know nothing about the last game we have from them, which is Gods of Rome, which is more like an area control game.
Cool.
But this I'm going to give an 8. I think it's super duper good. Really great lighter game, and that I highly recommend checking out.
Nice. Next up is a game that is hard to get. It is actually the name of the game, and this is a word game. Kind of if you had mixed matched the 2 games, Codenames and Similo together, 2 games we love. So, do we love this?
I also heard that it's also kind of like, instead of Similo, people are saying Wavelength.
Oh yeah,
which is
we
the one
haven't played that
we have
yet.
it now, but we haven't gotten to play it yet.
Yes.
So people are saying that as well. So is it good? We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, boom!
Yes,
it's fantastic.
It's so good.
It is kind of a wonkier Codenames.
Yeah.
Like it's also better than Codenames in some ways, because the problem with Codenames, one thing, it's a theme-based game. This is like a co-op game, so everybody's at the same team. But Codenames can have that problem of you having to be creative.
Yeah.
And it's very easy in Codenames to do mistakes of saying, oh, I'm gonna say animal tree, and then people say like, oh, this is an animal, and it's kind of and you have to be that creative way.
Yes.
In this one, you instead have these cards. So it's the same grid of cards, but instead of having to make up things, you're gonna pick a card. So I'm gonna pick a card, and I'm gonna read a card. It says supermarket on one side and garage sale on the other side. And let's say my word was Atlantis, and I have to decide, do I think Atlantis is more garage sale than supermarket? And then I will have to put that down here, and then the other people have to eliminate a card or more, and after 5 rounds they have to have eliminated all the cards except the one that's correct.
I think it's really cool because you are sparking some fun conversation with this game as well. Like, is Tom Hanks more zippers or buttons, for example? Like, is the bridge more pizza or lasagna? It makes no sense.
The big questions in life.
Yeah,
and it's one that we always had laughs with. I'm gonna quote Blue Peg Pink Peg, which is a fantastic podcast. If you haven't listened to them, go and do that. I've listened to them for years. Fantastic people. They basically said, that if Codenames wasn't a thing, this would be like the big thing at Spiel. And I think this deserves to be big. I think it deserves to be one that you should check out if you like word games. I don't like many word games, but this, I haven't probably played many word games.
No, probably
not.
But
this is one that is truly fantastic.
Yes.
For me, this is an 8 as well. A great, great game.
Yeah, I agree.
Next up, then, we have on my side Imperial Miners. This is a new game from Portal Games this year. It is a simultaneous play game where you are building a mine. You are basically playing downwards, building at a blow of cards. Every time you play a new card, you get to activate that card and also activate like a path of cards up to the top of your little player board. And you're trying basically over 10 rounds, where you mostly are going to play 1 card each round. You're trying to score the most diamonds, which are points at the end of the game. There's also a little like connection puzzle of trying to connect this mine card. It's also going to be a point at the end of the game. And that is basically what you're doing.
Yes.
So let's go with the paddle thing. 1, 2, 3, boom.
It's a double Cull. I enjoyed it though.
Yes.
I really thought it was fun. It's a really fast, simple game. So it's just like a little like just a little cozy puzzle, and it's a little lucky because you're drawing and then you can get some, you have these factions like in the other Imperial Settlers, like the universe, and you can be lucky and get a lot of the same faction that corresponds very well with each other, or you can get a lot of different stuff. But other than, like, I don't mind. It's so fast. It's so...
I don't mind.
It's so fast. And the reason that I want to call it is basically that I think that I've explored it. I'm kind of done with it. But I thought it was fun for the game that it is.
Yeah, I liked it. I enjoyed it. The times I played it, I even played it solo. We're going to talk more about that in the solo roundup at the end of the month, where I talk about the solo games I played, which is new and weird. But it's like a multiplayer solitaire game. You're doing like your own thing. There's like no difference. The solo mode is exactly the same as the base game. I agree with you. Like, I enjoyed my place of it, but I feel like I'm done with it. If I were to rate it, I think I would have given it a 6.5.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's over on the culling pile. Next up, we have another game on your side, which is World Wonders. One of the big hits from Gen Con this year from Arcane Wonders. It's a tile laying game where you are laying tiles on a board. You're also trying to make them in the best possible way so you can place wonders, which will then score your points. It has like an economy where you pay action points. Basically, it's coins, but you're paying action points to do different actions. And when you want to build a monument, you have to use the rest of them and basically end your round. So it's kind of like a timing thing, because there are probably going to be more people who want the same wonders, but you're trying to, it's a polynomial puzzle game. You're trying to place things the best way possible. There's different ways to score points. There is kind of restricted how you can place things. So you need to, for example, build roads, even though they might not give you points. You have to build them so you can be able to build new buildings adjacent to them. So many things to think about, but it's a pretty light game. So let's do the thing.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, boom!
Oh, we are so in sync today. It's a double keep.
Maybe we are more Backstreet Boys.
Well, maybe... I think that after the first time I played it, we played the first time. Yeah, that's exactly right. At Spiel, we were 5 people playing this game first time.
And also asleep.
Asleep, of course. But I didn't find it as fun.
Nope.
Then I thought it was nice, but I was just like, okay, let's play it more. I want to get it over with so I can call it.
Yes.
But then we played it 2 players.
DOS.
And I really enjoyed it. It went much smoother. Of course, we weren't sleeping.
And 5.
But I can see that this would be fun to play with 3. I don't know if I need to play it with 4. Nope. I didn't think like the interaction was that fun.
No, I agree.
But for the buying the buildings that I want to, and seeing, okay, what do I want to have to build these monuments this round? Do I want to like have something other than you, so I know that we are aiming for different ones, or do I want to rush to get it, so I'm hindering you to get it? So I thought it was a fun puzzle, trying to fill everything on the board and making like, this game is all about keeping your options open, because so fast you can be in a position where you can't build where you want to because you don't have the roads, or it doesn't match with the color, and that is cool also. Yeah,
basically I agree. I agree with what you said. It's a fun game. I'm going to give it an 8. That is World Wonders, and we have only one more game today, and that is going to be Neotopia. We just talked about one of the designers, Orlando Sa, who did Kelte, and he also had this game Neotopia, with Andres Santos, and it's a game about building a city. It's a full abstract game, but for multiplayer. Many abstract games are 2-player, that's why I'm saying it's a multiplayer game. You are building a city. You are basically placing these tokens, which are very nice tokens, in different colors out on the board, trying to match. You have
a recipe basically on your
card.
A pattern.
A pattern, thank you. A system. That's one thing. A pattern on cards that you have, and trying to score the most points. There's 3 areas, and it's kind of like a Knizia kind of scoring, where you score all the areas, but the one you score the least, you're going to score triple. So it's kind of like a nice way of a Knizia way of scoring. Pretty straightforward, pretty quick. Is it fun? We'll find out when we do the stuff. Cup paddling. Yes. We're going to go paddling now. Are you ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, boom!
It's the first disagreement.
Yes, and I was so unsure.
Yeah.
I'm choosing keep because then we had something to talk about because I was so unsure. Because if I went Cull, then it was a done deal. But now we can like discuss it on video.
Because I would just like, I would just say nothing about it if you were.
Yes, you would just like
Cull.
take it
So
away
like,
and
okay,
then bye.
bye forever.
Okay, let me know.
Well, I thought it was fun.
Yes.
I really enjoyed it. I like the Knizia way of scoring. I'm just like, yeah, that's the right way of describing it, with like tripling your points in the one area. Because
Yes.
when some areas start to fill up, it's easier to fulfill patterns there because there's already something there, but that makes you want to like contribute in all the zones, so that like one zone just becomes naturally dominant because you started placing your tiles there.
Yep.
I love that you have your own player color in it as well, which makes it so that it's also good to play a certain color, not just like fulfilling these cards. And it feels really tight. You have 3 actions on your round, and you want to both get new cards to score, but also finish your whole pattern in one go, so that somebody doesn't like screw it up before it's your turn again. I really enjoyed it, but I can't keep all of the games that I really enjoy, like, you know, so I have to just like, okay, I had fun.
Look at it, it's tiny.
It's tiny, okay. We can keep it, but yeah.
I think that I want to keep it
for now.
And maybe next time around I play it, I will be okay with calling
Okay.
it. This is like very on the edge for me because the first time I played it, I was like, it's fine. And I played it again, I really enjoyed my time with it. And it is one where and it's so easy to teach and so easy to play. So it's one that's going to be easy to get to the table again. So it is like, you know what I mean. Like it's easy to get to the table as anything here is easy. But it's one that it's so hard.
Yeah.
Because like I'm going to choose to play World Wonders over this and Lota and Hard to Get over this game. But I won't play this more than I want to play the other games on that side. So it's kind of like...
It's right in the middle.
It's like tugging from side to side.
But I was also very on the edge with this one. I'm basically decided right now if you wanted to keep it or not.
Me as well. So we're going to keep it for now because I'm not good at choosing.
Well,
so
we want the keeping and culling to be a positive experience.
Yes.
So we really don't want to make a choice that we are feeling like, have like mixed feelings with.
Yeah.
So... we'll call it later.
The thing is that like in a month, I might look at this and be like, nah, let's call it.
Yes.
But that's just like how it is. So that's 8 more games.
Yeah.
And let's do positive and negative and most positive and boring experience because we enjoyed doing that. I think for me that the most boring or like worst experience, like it's a negative thing, but Romy Rami, it was just fine, nothing amazing.
Yep.
And I think my most like best experience is Lata because I didn't know much about it and it was a great surprise. I want to play again.
The most boring, I agree. Romy Rami was just fine. I really loved Hard to Get. It's just up our alley and I really enjoyed it.
Okay, so that's 8 more games with the keeping and the culling. And that's the end of this video. If you are here and this is the first time you're watching one of our videos and you think, how can I watch more of them? You can do that in a very easy way by helping us out, super simple, by giving us a victory point.
Yes, and we get victory points when you click that subscribe button down there. You can also click the bell button to get notifications.
And that's the end of this video. My name is Johannes.
And my name is Sinua.
And you, whatever your name is, you've been watching Board Gaming Ramblings. Bye-bye.